I thought I needed to arrive and become the Proverbs 31 millionaire before I started this. And God was like, girl, sit down. We're going to go on this journey together. They're going to be on the journey with you. And so I'll be sharing. Hello, lionheart. Robyn-Ann here from Mind, Style, and Money, a new podcast that we are finally launching for the virtuous women who know that they are made for more, right? We can see from Proverbs 31 that she was a savage and really, okay, maybe that's not the best word. She was shrewd, though, and masterful in her personal life, her public life. I mean, just marriage, motherhood, ministry, the marketplace. She was so effective and so profitable. And a lot of times I feel like that last part is what we don't talk about much, that the lady was a businesswoman. She was successful in many ways, I believe, because she just had a mind for fruitfulness, right? And making things better with what God had given her. So I wanted this to be a space where we can dive a bit more into some of those mindset shifts that aren't really taught in church, right? We don't really get to hear about how wisdom should lead to wealth, how the wealth of the wicked is stored up for us, the righteous, how we're not trying to, be about world evacuation, right? Just waiting for the rapture and getting us out of here soon, like we often joke about on memes. But really, it's about world domination. That is still the mandate and the agenda. Even since Eden, it hasn't changed since now. I mean, I know a lot of times we talk about heaven a lot and going to heaven, but let's not forget, even in Revelation, God made it clear that there is a new heaven and a new earth. Because guess what? We're still being put back on that new earth to still learn and continue to master really righteous judgment and leading people well and dominating in our gifts and whatever God has asked us to do, right? I love, one of my favorite verses is 1 Corinthians 6 verse 3, where Paul is really admonishing the saints that, don't you know, you will judge the world, you will judge angels. So it's like, if you can't even settle disputes and issues amongst yourself, how are you going to lead the world, lead on a world stage, right? Because God really has chosen us to be a lighthouse, to be a city on a hill in whatever sphere we're in. And I believe as women, that includes in our homes, in our motherhood, in our femininity, in our faith, just being that example of what is heaven's thought, what is the more effective way, the more abundant way to really execute the life that we know we are called to. Because you let society tell it, and we're just supposed to do all the things, right? All the work in the home and out of the home. And burnout is real. I don't know how many of you have been there. I have, and that burnout is real. I think many of us are being called back to the home. We are definitely being called back to our happiness, being more aware of that blessedness, really, that the Bible talks about, which converts to happiness if you really go back and study a lot of that, and just wholeness and being in alignment with how we really manage and direct ourselves. So this is just a quick intro. If you feel like this is a vibe, this sounds like you, come on in, have a sat, click the subscribe button. We are going to have a blast. I mean, just expect more biblical shifts and teachings that have really helped me. Bible verses, I guess I mean, that, I've studied that have really helped me level up my mindset and my finances, as well as business strategy and ventures that I'm undertaking. I know I thought I needed to arrive and become the Proverbs 31 millionaire before I started this. And God was like, girl, sit down. We're going to go on this journey together. They're going to be on the journey with you. And so I'll be sharing a lot of that and just how I want to elevate, even whether it's my wardrobe to match this next level I know God is calling me into, or just become a better CEO of my home and what I outsource, and really give focus to what only I can do, which is the nurturing of my two toddlers, my two daughters, and my husband, and the people he has sent me to disciple and pour into. So let's work from abundance, not for it, right? And let's stop making all the excuses about waiting on God when you know he's giving you some instructions. Tell me how I know. So this is me doing mine, doing it now, doing it messy. If you have something like that that you know you've been putting off, and God is like, hey, let's put it in the comments. I'm going to share mine. Like I said, business is mine, and I'll be sharing how, for me, even though it has been scary, mainly because I got too successful in corporate America. Is that a thing? It is a thing. So it's like when you're making hundreds of thousands in corporate, and God's like, yeah, but we're going to leave that now, and we need to go fully into business. Like, I know business can do so much more, but, you know, the mind always wants to remain comfortable at times. And so we need to shift that. Let me know what yours is in the comments. I'll definitely comment there. And I cannot wait to share more holistically. Let's roar. Talk soon.